Hello students, I am Dharmendra Pathak. In my previous video, I will describe about chemical reaction, language of chemistry, and how to write chemical reaction. We discussed that all the chemical changes which are going around us are cause of chemical reaction. And chemical reaction is represented by using chemical equation or expression used to represent chemical reaction or chemical change are called chemical equation. We can represent these chemical reaction by two ways. Simply by using word, then it is called word equation, or if we represent chemical equation by using symbol or a molecular formula, then it is called formula equation. That formula equation may be balanced or unbalanced. If number of reactant and product atoms are equal, then the equation is called balanced chemical equation. If number of reactants and product atoms are not equal, then it is called unbalanced chemical equation. Then we can balance these equations by different method. In previous video we discussed that how it is balanced by heat and trial method. By adding simple numerical coefficient we can balance it. Now today we discuss about types of chemical reaction. On the basis of direction of change, if reactant change into product and at same time product change into reactant, then the reaction is bidirectional or called reversible reaction. On the basis of needs of heat, if chemical reaction need heat to begins, then it is known as endothermic reaction, and heat evolved during the reaction or heat produced during the reaction, then that type of chemical reaction are called exothermic reaction. And other basis of classification or types of chemical reaction is on the basis of they are given reactant or reacting molecules. Sometimes chemical reactions complete by combination of reactant molecules, sometimes by dissociation of reactant molecules, or by displacement of reactant molecules, or by neutralization of your acid and base. And on the basis of that nature of reacting molecules, chemical reaction is classified into various types, like a combination or synthesis reaction, decomposition or dissociation reaction, simply displacement reaction, neutralization reaction, hydrolysis reaction, polymerization reaction, and various more. But mainly reactant molecules react with each other. That process is classified into four types, and therefore here only we discuss about common four types of reaction. Before that, at first we describe about what is chemical reaction on the basis of types, and here we write chemical reaction. And on the basis to describe about the type, we can define chemical reaction as the chemical change occurs due to combination, decomposition, displacement, and neutralization of reactant molecules are called chemical reaction. And here already is given that reactants change into products. Something change occurs in reactants that causes products are formed. And which type of changes are found in either reactants combined or decomposed or displaced or neutralized. And in this way, chemical reaction is mainly classified into four types. And here we write common four types of reaction. Not only chemical reaction is of four types, several more types of chemical reaction are found. That depends upon the terms how it react. And here on the basis of here term defined, the first type of chemical reaction is addition reaction. It is also called combination reaction. And same way we define synthesis reaction. Meaning of these all type of here given type is same, and here we write a reaction. And how we define that and how we know that the chemical reaction is addition or combination or synthesis, which type, how we understand that or how we define that. So these all chemical reaction in which two or more reactants combined and gives single product, then such type of chemical reaction is called combination reaction. And here we define the chemical reaction in which two or more reactants combined to give single product are called combination reaction or synthesis reaction or addition reaction. And suppose we consider any reactant is A that combined with another reactant B, and that gives new product which is AB. And here reactants are two and product is only one. And due to that reason the reaction is here combination reaction. And we illustrate it with example. Which type of chemical reaction or which type of chemicals take part in combination reaction? The generally simple molecules, simple elements that combine and gives product. And here we write some example of combination reaction. Simple element is here sodium. When it reacts with non-metal, metal and non-metal, then it gives product which is according to combination, and sodium and chlorine, that is sodium chloride is formed. And here it is unbalanced, two chlorine, one sodium is the first we balance non-metal, the 2Cl, and sodium again increases, and here we write 2. Suppose calcium, when it combined with oxygen, that gives calcium oxide. Here it is called combination reaction. Other we can write iron. When it reacts with oxygen, it may give ferrous oxide or ferric oxide. In both condition here, what is combination reaction? The such type of chemical reaction in which suppose magnesium and nitrogen, then it gives magnesium nitride, magnesium having 2 valency, nitrogen 3 valency, Mg3N2. These all chemical reactions in which 2 reactants are found and single product is formed, and therefore it is called combination reaction. Other types in which single reactants decomposed and gives 2 or more product, and here second type of chemical reaction is decomposition reaction. It is also called dissociation reaction. And how we define it? The chemical reaction in which single reactant decomposed or dissociated to give more products, 2 or more products, then it is called dissociation reaction. And at first we define and then we explain with help of example. The chemical reaction in which single reactants or a reactant decompose to give more products, more than 1, 2, 3, 4, are called decomposition reaction. And here suppose we consider AB is reactant that gives A plus B, just in opposite of combination, and therefore generally bigger molecule which contain more atoms, that type of compound which are heavier compound decomposed to give certain type of lighter elements, as for example calcium carbonate, limestone. It decomposes, then it gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is formed there. Here single reactant and 2 products are there. Similarly, potassium chlorate that decompose, then it gives potassium chloride and oxygen. To balance here we write 2, 3. And in this way it is called decomposition. Why? Because single reactant and more products are formed. By same way we can write third is here given. Another example we can explain here. Calcium bicarbonate, when it is heated or decomposed, generally decomposition reaction needs certain external energy. It decomposes in presence of heat. That gives calcium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide is produced. And such type of chemical reaction are called decomposition. Third type of chemical reaction is neutralization reaction. It is also known as acid-base reaction. Listen. The chemical reaction between acid and base is called neutralization reaction. The chemical reaction between acid and base, generally acid having property called acidity and base having property called basicity. And in this reaction, acidity of acid neutralizes by base. Therefore, it is called neutralization reaction. Why this reaction is called a neutralization reaction? This reaction is called neutralization because acidity of acid neutralizes by base. And here we write acid react with base, then neutralization occurs and it gives salt plus water. Always the product in neutralization reaction is salt and water. And what are the example of here acids? All acids having displaceable hydrogen, as like HCl is acid, H2SO4 sulfuric, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, these are common acid having displaceable hydrogen. And base are oxide and hydroxide of metals like a sodium hydroxide, calcium oxide, suppose magnesium hydroxide or oxide, these are base. Base are oxide and hydroxide of metals. Acid are generally displaceable proton donor or having displaceable hydrogen. It gives sodium chloride plus water. Already it is balanced. It gives calcium sulfate plus water. Salt is formed there. It is also balanced. Magnesium nitrate plus water. And here nitrate is 2, therefore here we write 2, nitrogen 2, oxygen 3 to the 6 to 8, 3 to the 3, Mg3 and 3 to the 6, and hydrogen is here 2 to 4, and here we write 4. And this type of chemical reaction in which acid reacts to base gives salt and water. And this reaction is called neutralization. Why? Because all acid having acidity that get neutralized by base and gives neutral compound salt and water. And that reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Similarly, fourth type of chemical reaction is displacement reaction. And we define that the chemical reaction in which product is formed by displacement of reactant radicals are called displacement reaction. And that displacement takes place in reactant molecule. Like a fourth type of chemical reaction is displacement reaction. And how we define that? The chemical reaction in which products are formed by displacement of reactant radicals. New product is formed by displacement of reactant radical. As for example, AB is compound and here it react with X, and if that it get displaced and it form AX plus B, or may A get any one radical get displaced by another reactant, then it is called single displacement. If both reactant radicals get displaced by each other, then it is called double displacement. At first we define the chemical reaction in which products are formed by displacement of reactant radicals are called displacement reaction. And that displacement reaction is of two types. It is of two types. And how we define that? First is single displacement. And single displacement is the chemical reaction in which products are formed by displacement of, and from here we write displacement of only one reactant radical. Listen. If displacement of only one reactant radical takes place, then this is called single displacement. As for example, zinc that react with hydrochloric acid, and here zinc displace hydrogen and it form zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas is formed. This is called single displacement. Why? Because hydrogen only get displaced by zinc. Copper plus, suppose sulfuric acid, copper or metal react with acid, then it gives in general salt and hydrogen, and it is also single displacement. Or why? Because hydrogen get displaced by copper. Similarly, other we can write when iron kept in copper sulfate solution, then copper get displaced by iron and it gives ferrous sulfate plus copper. Here it is called single displacement. And those type of displacement reaction in which product is formed by displacement of both radicals are called double displacement reaction. In double displacement reaction, product is formed by displacement of generally compound having two radicals, and when both radicals get displaced, then it is called displacement of both radicals. When both radicals displaced, then it is called double displacement. And how we define that? Suppose AB and XY is here. Listen, A displace X and X displace A, and the product will be AY plus XB. Such type of chemical reaction are called double displacement. Here electropositive radicals get displaced by each other and a new product is formed. As for example, generally in solution state, or when two or more salts or compound that reacts like a iron chloride and copper sulfate mixed, both are in solution state. Iron is more reactive than it displaces copper. Copper get combined with chlorine and it form iron sulfate plus copper chloride. Similarly, when sodium chloride and silver nitrate reacts, in both that reaction takes place in solution state only. Why? Because both are salt. Then sodium displaces silver, silver take the position of sodium, and here it is formed silver chloride plus sodium nitride. In such type of chemical reaction, we found that both radicals get displaced by each other, then it is called double displacement, and only one radicals there get displaced, then it is called single displacement. And in the next video we discuss about some chemical reaction are fast. Why? Because the rate of such chemical reaction is high. Like a amount of product formed or amount of reactant change into product in per unit time is called rate of chemical reaction. And on which factor rate of chemical reaction depends, that we discuss in the next video. Thank you.